noises. Welcome to Super Garbage Day, a retro video game review show where my co-host and I play a game 20 years or older that you, the listener, chooses. Every episode, we randomly pick a game submitted by the community to play, kindly dissect, and then ski us. I almost got through that perfectly, but nope, had to screw up at the end. Welcome to episode 102. I'm your host, B. Ross, not Steve, also known as Charlie Coleslaw on Twitch. And with me today is the lovely and powerful
Mr. Miller.
Mr. Miller. All right, buddy, I've got a segment today for you, and it's going to be a little ridiculous. I know you don't have any idea what I'm about to present, but I just have to ask, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Today's segment's called, Is This Real Slang or BS? How the segment's going to work is I'm going to say a new slang word, and I will use it in a sentence, and I want you first to tell me what you think it means, and then second, tell me if it's real new slang from these Gen Alpha Zalphas, or if it's complete BS. How's that sound?
So is this for our Gen Z or Alpha listeners, if we have any, is this on God or cap?
I don't know what those words mean, but I'm sure. I didn't realize that you were so fluent in Taiwanese, but yeah, it's all those things. It's cappy, snappy, you know. It sucks because we're old and lame now, but you know, I'm trying to keep up with it. And so let's test you and see if this is an actual new slang word or it's completely made up. Are you ready for the first one?
All right, let's go.
All right. The first slang word is catching print.
Catching print?
Catching print.
Can you use it in a sentence? Yeah.
I was catching print all day long at the park.
I'm gonna say that's BS.
Well, hold on. Tell me at first what you think it means, and then tell me you think it's BS.
Well, I mean, I could see it meaning like getting the news or dropping them eaves.
Not exactly, but do you think it's a real or fake slang term?
I mean, I've never fucking heard it, so I'm just gonna say BS.
All right. Survey shows it's real. And let me explain to you what it is. Catching print is the act of seeing the outline of a man's dick through his sweatpants or just shorts. So,
okay, I did recently hear the term dick print.
Yeah, so it's just catching print means that
So-
you're seeing dick prints.
All right, that makes sense.
No points.
Fair.
All right. Next. Number 2. Bustin' Nucks. That's busting Nucks.
Well, I mean, that sounds like getting into a fight.
Well, let me say it in a sentence. I was sick of his bad attitude, so we ended up busting Nucks.
I mean, that sounds like something I would say.
All right. Well, is it fake or real?
I'm gonna say real.
It is fake. I made it up. Woo!
Wow.
I'm a wordsmith.
I mean, it makes more sense than catching print.
Fair enough. But I think the more obtuse they are, probably the more likely they are to be real. All right. Moving on to the third one. Parker LARPing.
Parker LARPing.
Yes. And let me use this in a sentence. She was so into him, she was Parker LARPing the entire trip.
I'm going to say that's real. And it's referencing some sort of celebrity that I'm not familiar of, but it's like catching feels or like trying to get with somebody.
Well, it turns out it's made up and I don't even have an explanation for it. So, yeah, no idea. All right. The next one, sorry. Going full Hank. Going full Hank. I'll use it in a sentence. He was so obsessed with this new stupid hobby that he kept going full Hank.
I'm going to say that's like going Hank Hill with it, where you're like all in, it's propane or nothing, and it's real.
All right. Survey shows also fake. So, wow, this is a really difficult game. Don't worry. We got 2 more left. It's okay. You can still get a couple points here. Ready? All right. Base maxing.
Oh, okay. So base maxing would be like being as basic or like normal as possible. I do know maxing is just like trying to.
That's a new term. Yeah.
Emulate that stereotype as much as possible. So I know that at least part of that is real.
Well, sir, I mean, I don't know how to score this because you're kind of right, but also I made it up. Because maxing is not really fair, because maxing is a new term actually used right now by like Gen Alpha and Gen Zs about like, I think they took it from the idea of min maxing, right? Like from RPGs. To where, okay, so people are like looks maxing, where they're trying their best to look absolutely as good as they can at the discrepancy of like, everything else.
I'm in my sun maxing era where they're just like trying to get as much sun as possible.
Yeah, well, bass maxing was fake. All right, here comes the last one.
Is Hank Parker involved?
Oh, hey, he figured it out, everybody. He figured out Parker LARPing. Going full Hank and bass maxing. Oh my God. Play the music. One of the most intricate Bassin's Black Bass jokes I possibly have constructed thus far.
I'm catching on to your games, boy.
A little bit. All right, here's the last one.
I gotta let you get them in before I call it out.
That's
no
true.
Fun otherwise.
You probably saw probably with going full Hank. That was probably a dead giveaway, but I don't know. That was a good one. I might even start using these terms. I think going full Hank. You know,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, I think we just came up with a new slang term.
Listen, if you hear people saying going full Hank, oh, this fool's going full Hank on this chick or on these nachos. It was invented here right now on this show. So we will be getting our royalties. I don't care. All right. Last one. Currently you have a score of 0.5. So.
Well, if you could speak properly and say, bass instead of base maxing, maybe I would have gotten that.
You know, one. I realized I was like, oh, he's gonna get that one because I said bass at first. Yeah, the whole plan was for me to like pretend like I messed it up and be like, oh no, bass, sorry, or no, I mean bass. You know, but I figured at that point you were. I
know you're not illiterate, so
you'd be surprised. All right, last and final one: real slang or BS. I'm just going to say the sentence. She goes full Colorado campfire after first dates. The term being Colorado campfire.
I don't want to know what that means.
What?
I said I don't even want to know what that means, but that can't be real. If it's real, then what the fuck is going on?
All right. And survey says it is real. If you want to know what that means, just look it up in Urban Dictionary. I'm not going to say it live. It is pretty intense. So at the end of this segment, Mr. Miller.
And now I'm looking it up.
Oh yeah. I just want to hear your reaction of you looking that up. So yeah, it's out there, but this is going to be an out there episode. So
that doesn't make any sense.
It does, you know, depending on which.
No, it doesn't.
Description you're looking
Colorado,
at. Are you looking at just, like one of them or the sexual act?
It's definitely a sexual act.
Yes, it is.
But that doesn't make any sense calling it a Colorado campfire.
I didn't come up with it. Somebody else did. Hey, don't butcher the messenger here.
I will flay you upon the many sins of our fathers. And it'll still not be as bad as the game we're about to review.
Oh my good Lord. Oof. Yeah, we'll get to that. But before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, 0.5 is the final score for Mr. Miller and Real Slinger BS, which means he's ancient and out of touch and can run for the executive branch. All right. So what's new in the land of Super Garbage Day Incorporated? Well, I'm coming along nicely in the Master System quest. I'm on game 56, which means I'm halfway done with the North American Library. I probably said this before, which means I'm still in the same game. And that game I'm currently on is Phantasy Star, the first one, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So if you want to check that out, I'm on Twitch, Charlie Coleslaw. Come say hi, come hang out. I'm just beating every Sega Master System game ever released in North America, and I'm playing it on the actual cartridge on a real old school 1986 Master System that I hope to God can survive the entire thing, because it's pushing, it's old enough to get a senior discount. Oh, all right.
I actually have an announcement.
Oh, what is it? Go ahead.
You can cut this out if you want.
I'm not going to now. I'm kidding.
No, well, because we are not officially endorsed, but I am a official beard ambassador of the Beard Struggle.
Oh,
beard care products.
I love it. No, feel free. Yeah, put it out. I mean, we're all bearded.
So if anybody, I'm sure most of you listening have a beard of some sort. If you're looking to like clean that scruff up, you want to smell good, like get rid of any itchiness. I got your products. It's legit. It's really good stuff. I can hook you up with a 20% discount code. I can slap it in the Discord or at the end of the episode, however we want to do it.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the show notes for sure.
Yeah. It helped me out just a little bit because I do get a 10% kickback.
But you also have glorious facial hair, so you're definitely the person to take the advice from.
I fully endorse all their products, and if you ever have any questions, hit me up or send recommendations if you want to know what something smells like. I've tried them all basically, and I got my official badge. I can post that in the Discord as well with my rank and everything. Yeah, it was a fun little thing. I came home to, so
that's excellent. Yeah. I mean, I'm interested. So, let me try some of it. I got a big beard.
Yeah, I'll hook you up, man.
Excellent. So if you want a beard max, hit the link up below and support your local Mr. Miller.
We beard maxing over here.
We beard maxing it. We're bass maxing it too. So we're going full Hank on our beards. So just remember. And if you don't like this, we can go be busting nucks. All right. So don't be such a Parker LARPer. All right. Now it's time for the famous retro question of the week. Masked Keaton asks, a lot of K's in there phonetically. What are some of your favorite visuals in video games? Best scenery, coolest magical effort, etc. What has made your eyes pop? He then goes to say, for me, the first time I played Dead Rising and saw the sheer number of zombies in the mall at the same time, it felt overwhelmingly horrifying and it blew my mind. I remember that when that came out on 360, that was like I think that was almost like a needle mover there for the system, because we've not seen anything like that up until that point. Yeah.
That was one of the games that made me rebuild my PC because it actually...
Oh, no kidding.
It killed my graphics card. There was a moment where all of a sudden I was like, Well, because this was early in, like, everyone knew every little thing about games before they even came out. And so, like, you know, if you're an early adopter of a game, you're just like, guys, do you see what I see? Because I all of a sudden just saw, like, these black tentacles just extending out of this horde. And I was like, what is that? And they're like, we don't see that. And then I later found out, I was like, oh, that was my graphics card dying.
Meanwhile, your graphics card is smoking. Like fry an egg on it.
It was literally like, I went and, like, looked at my my stat logger for my heat and everything, and it was just like, oh no, it was literally on fire for a hot second, because there were, you know,
nice
200 plus sprites on the screen. And they're not sprites, they're fully rendered zombies.
Bro, I know. And it's crazy that the 360 was able to pull that off. Like,
yeah,
pretty fluidly.
By the way, if you have a harder time than usual, because I don't have my normal just allergy cough, I am recovering from a cold. So
actually, I did notice that. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Not as an editor. I'm just saying in general. I'm glad that you're I don't like you to be sick, but you know, at least, you know, you got a little break from the allergy cough, which is the worst. I'm actually experiencing that right now too, because the pollen is so bad and my tonsils will itch. And when my tonsils itch, it's the worst, dude.
The tree cum all in your face, up in your orifices.
My throat. Yeah.
Just getting raped by trees.
Yes. Okay. Jesus Christ. Yes. And it's coming. We're not even halfway there yet. The pollen apocalypse is going to be upon us very soon.
Oh yeah. And you're down there in
ground zero,
grass capital of the world. Yeah. I mean, well, I'm dealing with all the cherry blossoms around here right now, and I'm just like, oh, you're pretty, but I hate you.
You're pretty, but you destroy me. Oh, what are you, an X? All right. So that's actually not a rip at anybody. That's just a stupid man joke. Yeah. Dead Rising is a great example of, like, kind of a paradigm shift of technology too in video games, where you're like, oh, there's a lot of there's capacity now to have some crazy shit going on in our video games.
Whoa, we can do this?
Yeah. Except for, you know, when your graphics card has got tentacles exploding out of it in the game and on it. So that's,
hey, it was a great experience.
It was. That's a great game. Ranker's Foe adds to the question of the week, saying, for beauty, the most recent was Horizon Forbidden West. Just seeing the natural world's forest and land masses forming around the old ruins of iconic cities like San Francisco and Las Vegas was awesome enough. But then they wowed me with it getting full aerial view of everything once you fly up on the robot pterodactyl. For something scary, it would be Freelancer. Oh, that's a throwback game there. Specifically, the first time I flew into a nebula or cloud, and it was pure empty darkness as far as I can see. Double the fear if a dogfight broke out and there were asteroids floating around and you couldn't see until too late. Wow, man. Freelancer is okay. So Mike, I know totally just doxed you, but I remember all of us being super into that game at the same time. And that was, Mike and Marcus and I loved Freelancer. But yeah, I have never played the Horizon games. I don't own a PS5, or, you know, I didn't have like a computer that could run it. I don't even know if it's released.
Well, nobody does, because they're almost $700 now.
Yeah. Well, that's just the RAM. But, are you talking about PS5s? Oh yeah. Well, that's going up.
PS5.
Yeah. They're $700, but yeah, I can't speak on Horizon, but, you know, Freelancer actually was one of the most impressive games for the time it came out. And actually a big hidden gem, and I think that was on the list. I don't know. I don't think it was, but might have been on the Wheel of Retro, but not now. Anyways, Mr. Miller, have you played Horizon or Freelancer?
I played Horizon Zero Dawn. I haven't played the new one. And it's a pretty game. I love my robot dinosaurs. Anything dinosaurs, I'm just like, give me that shit.
especially robotic, right? Yeah, hell yeah. I want to try it, but I just don't have the means to. I will get around to it eventually when the world sends me a PS5.
I'm certain I have played Freelancer. It doesn't like ring a bell, but it sounds like many a space sim that I've played.
Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty much like it's a simulator if you were like a spice trader, pretty much in Star Wars. Ultimately,
I played a lot of the X series, which is very similar, where you have options, and then I am one of those people that's still hanging on for the Star Citizen.
Oh God, are you an early investor?
I mean, I have 2 ships, but I will say, the single player game is coming out this year, at least from what the devs have said.
Well, Silk Song came out, and apparently GTA 6. So hopefully this will just complete the bingo card of games that should have already be out. Yeah. All right. Well, moving right along, Florida's Best Keith also adds an answer. Says, I think for me, the last time I was in awe was Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii. When you first go out into Gar Plains. It wasn't because
Gaur.
Yeah, I think it's Gar because I'm thinking Guar. So if you put like a W.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right.
It wasn't because it was amazing scenery, which it is. It was because I had been told ad nauseum for years that the Wii couldn't do anything like I was seeing. It blew me away. Another game I have not played or really know anything about, but
like that game is the first bro party simulator before Final Fantasy, what was it, 15? Where you're just like a bunch of dudes in a car.
Yeah, which is like one of the biggest selling points for me to want to play any Final Fantasy game. I'm like, you just hang out with your boys and just drive around in like this like convertible? Like,
no, it was so funny. I didn't play it. I was just watching my roommate play it. And there was a moment where he got an armor set for everybody that had like a synergy where it was basically just swimsuits. So it was just a bunch of like frat bros just running around in like tank tops and swim trunks with giant weapons. But it was like the best armor he had. So it was like, yeah, party with the bros. Like, it was so fucking funny.
Isn't there kind of like almost like a greaser thing in it? I don't know if I'm just remembering or making up memories about the game. I never played it, but I remember seeing like screenshots and it felt like, I don't know, like Grease. Like you and the boys.
Oh, you're talking about Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Xenoblade. The game that.
Yeah, I'm talking about Xenoblade.
Oh, okay. How are they not the same game?
In 15, you're not wrong. They have like this like souped up like convertible hot rod that they just cruise around in.
That's dope.
The other one is just guys running around in the wilderness in swimwear, where I'm just like, yeah, I've definitely done that over a summer.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna do more of it this summer. That's gotta drop like 20 pounds. Maybe get a tan. Maybe get a bunch of tattoos. And maybe just not, somewhere nobody can see me. But
yeah, I was just like, yeah, just cover yourself in tattoos and immediately just like, it doesn't matter.
I know that's the big appeal of tattoos is that people are like, what do you think they're going to look like when you're older? I'm like, way better than my pale, wrinkly body.
So, yeah. I'd rather have blown out tattoos than just look like death.
Have you seen a picture of the original Sailor Jerry? Like, with his shirt off?
Yeah, no.
He's all old. He looks cool as shit. And then have you seen a picture of your grandpa with his shirt off? I mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah. Also, we're brought to you by Sailor Jerry. No. Yeah, there's a couple games here I need to check out because I'm all about like the aesthetics and like that wow factor of seeing like, wow, this looks insane.
You would really like Xenoblade.
I probably would
as an RPG guy.
Is it just on is that version only on Wii? I think, you know what's weird is I think I own this game.
That one I think is only on the Wii.
Okay. Interesting. I own a Xenoblades game, but I don't know it came in like a lot.
Excuse me. It is like a big series.
Yeah.
There's a ton of games in it, but Xenoblade Chronicles, excuse me, is specifically a Wii exclusive, I believe.
Just like Crystal Chronicles. So
yeah, well, this one is that was GameCube, but this one is like the premise of it is there were two like titans fighting each other, and they're like locked in this eternal struggle.
Use the hard R on struggle there.
I use the struggers. These goddamn struggers.
It's all right. This is the fucking Harvester episode. It's only gonna go worse from here.
But the whole point of it is like different societies developed on like different parts of the body of these titans. And so like you grow up on like the back or something, and you like move into like the biceps and the chest. And
are they racist against each other? Like, hey, you're a backer.
A little bit.
I'm a glute. Yeah. That's what an interesting premise. Yeah, that's actually kind of rad. So, well, it is time to ask you, Mr. Miller, what game absolutely floored you?
Well, it's most recently it's Expedition 33.
Oh, you know what? I was just talking to somebody, one of my regulars in my work. He is so in awe over it, and he's been telling me for a couple days about it. And I'm like, bro, this is a game I'm definitely going to play. So please, no spoilers. I told him, because it just seems like right up my alley. And so I guess I'll give you the same, like, don't tell me too much, because it's 100% a game I'm going to play this year. But go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I wouldn't, because it is one of those, like, you need to experience it. But it's got so much of that old school Final Fantasy Chrono Trigger feel, where just like all the biomes are so interesting to look at, and the creature design is just so well done while still feeling like grounded and in the same universe. There is just one spot where I will say where I was just like, wow, they do care still.
Yet you felt humanity back in the video game industry for a moment.
Yeah. Well, especially once figuring out that this is like, it's like a 13-man team that just came out of nowhere out of France.
Oh, you mean the people who created the game, the developers?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. But like there's a portion where you're like running around in like these planes. It's like stereotypical fantasy fare. And then you move into this area that is a coral reef above ground with water that you can breathe, and you still have to walk, but there's all these sea creatures just moving around you. And I was just like, damn, that's cool.
Oh man, I can't wait to actually play it. Like, to be honest, like I'm hyped on that game to experience it now that I actually have a computer that can probably run it. So,
and the soundtrack's so good.
Yeah.
And it's gonna make you cry.
Really?
It's devastating. It's a really sad story.
Oh God, I love it. I'm even more on deck.
But it's really funny at times too. Like they knocked it out of the park. All the people who are just like, they didn't deserve Game of the Year. I'm just like, you don't get to have an opinion.
As opposed
sir,
to
I'm
what
sorry.
though? You know, like what game should have beat that in your eyes?
Oh, it's the use. No, nothing should have beat it that year.
I haven't played any of them, so this is not like I'm curious. You have a great pulse, and like obviously,
but it's the usual PlayStation crowd where it's some PlayStation exclusive. It's like the Spider-Man game, or it's like fanboys where it's just like, okay, well, if you would go out of your lane and play something different, and it is a really difficult game if you make it difficult.
Okay.
Like if you want a challenging experience, you can try and do all like the crazy parry mechanics and try and just like be a master of the game. You can also just turn it on tell me a story mode and just blow through it. And I guarantee you, you will love it on just tell me a story mode.
I think I'm going to do that though, because it sounds like a game where I'd much rather just be included, or like I want to be a part of the story and not really like, because I hear it's so good. It's one of the best stories that's come along in a long time. So
it's very interesting. It's weird. It's got a lot of philosophical terms, and there's a lot of art and music involved in it, and it's just like it makes you. It's very French in that way, where it's just like
I'm out.
I'm not. I was about to say something, but
it's the Harvester episode. You can say whatever you want.
I was just like, fuck our current. I'd rather be French right now than anything like where we're at.
Yeah,
this is.
I'd like, yeah, it's a rough time right now.
But no, it's about the human experience. It's like what makes us human.
Oh,
that's like something that a lot of games don't touch on very much.
Well, I'm looking so forward to trying it and playing it, because I feel like it's something that I have to play, and I was hyped on initially. I know a little bit of what the plot is, but just enough, like the surface area, the back of the box, to where I'm like, I love this concept and I don't want to read anything else. So I'm super down.
You'll dig it.
Good.
It's got good RPG mechanics. It's got great visuals. It's brutal, happy, sad. It's on Wii. It's everything.
Excellent. I very much look forward to that. So, all right. Well, initially I had an answer and it was kind of boring, really, because like it's easy to say, Shadow of the Colossus. But I've spoke on this before, I realized. Like I even explained my first experience with Shadow of the Colossus. When it first came out, I had a projector and surround sound. So me playing that game for the first time was the absolute best way you could play that game. But I've already talked about that before. So I actually came up with a second, more recent example of this happening. And it's in Elden Ring, because I've gone hard into Elden Ring now. I was like, no, I'm not going to let this, I'm going to play it, get good, and beat this game. And so, I put a lot of hours in Elden Ring, and there was one specific moment that I did not see coming that blew my mind. And of course,
can I guess?
Yes.
Was it when you went down a certain elevator?
Correct.
And there's an entire another world down below.
Correct. Yeah. The Siofra River. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I think it's Siofra. But when you take that elevator down, that you think you're just doing some normal quest, or so you're going to find some dungeon or something, and it just keeps going and going and going, and you're like, what is going on? And then you start seeing stars in the sky. And you're like, what is this? This is another huge part of the game. Like, it felt like it was opening up. It felt like DLC. It was just so expansive.
Yeah.
It blew my mind, dude. So, and what sucks is I don't want to ruin that for somebody else. Like, so I should have put, a spoiler alert if you haven't played Elden Ring, but I guess at this point.
Well, they don't know what elevator it is.
Yeah. But what a crazy moment.
That's why I said a certain elevator, and all of a sudden it's just like, oh my God, there's a whole nother biome.
I love how subtle it was too. They're like, no, just take this elevator, not a big deal. And then boom, look, an entire different part of the game that you were unprepared for.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy. Man, FromSoft, they are amazing. I love them. And I finally have a PS4 and Bloodborne. So my plan is, some point, maybe in between the Master System quest on Twitch, but I want to do something where either when I complete my mission there, or maybe before, I'm actually going to do an entire playthrough blind first time of Bloodborne and stream all of it, because I've never played it and I want to experience it, and I want people to be there for that. So that might be happening. And that's
I allegedly have a way to play it on PC. I just need to find a certain dot file.
Ah, gotcha.
So if anybody can help hook me up with that.
Yeah. I got a number for you. 1-800-FBI. We got him.
Got him.
Got him. Yeah, no. I mean, if you want to play it though, I'll gladly just send you the PS4 to borrow with the game. Like, it was free. Somebody gave it to me. A regular gave it to the same regular who was telling me about Expedition 33. Is the same guy that gave me his PS4 and Bloodborne because he said, "Oh, you never played it?" And I was like, "I never had a PS4." And so he's like, "Here you go. You can have my old PS4 because I just bought a PS5." He was so happy to get a PS5.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that guy's in my best graces forever now. That is a way to get a bartender on your side, for sure.
That was like when I used to work at the tap house. I had a regular who worked at one of the software development companies across the street. I don't know what they did exactly, but they had high-end GPUs. And I was just being like, yeah, mine's like getting outdated and it's crapping out. And he's just like, I could get you one. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, no, I can get you something better than what you have. And I was just like, all right, I believe it when I see it. And literally the next day he just showed up and just dropped the GPU off. And he was like, thanks for hooking me up. And I'm like, bruh, like,
that's crazy. It probably made him super happy too. He was like, hell yeah, I feel like the man.
Oh yeah, no, I was just like, anytime he came in, it was just like, all right, well, first one's on me. Here you go.
Hell yeah. I did the same thing. Like when he came back in and gave me and it's complete in box, mind you, the PS4. Like it's his original PS4. He just gave it to me with a bunch of games, but specifically Bloodborne 2. Not obviously Bloodborne 2. Well, we all hope that happens, but Bloodborne in addition. And I was just looking at him like, all right, well, I'm just going to buy you 10 free drinks right now. And anytime you come in, you're getting a free drink. So
yeah, you just have them in the well. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. I get to cross this bridge.
You can just show up, bring any of your friends. And if you want to look cool, you just walk up and I just bring you a drink.
Walk up and snap, and wink. And I'll be like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Like, sir, is there anything else I can get you? You'd be like, no.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I might be his only friend. All right. Well, that is the segments. So it's time to get to this episode's game. This game is something else, man. I'm not sure who submitted this, but luckily, you know what's weird is this game. So back when we played Bad Mojo, I didn't realize this. I bought a pack of like point and click games when I bought that. I didn't realize it was like a big discounted whatever thing going on. This game was in there, so I didn't have to rebuy it. I was like, oh, I already own this game. Okay, cool.
That's awesome.
And the game I'm speaking of is Harvester on the PC. Let's go.
Yeah.
Beans. All right.
Yeah.
Harvester is a point-and-click adventure game written and directed by Gilbert P. Austin and developed by DigiFX Interactive. It was published for MS-DOS, Windows, and Linux. Interesting. That's really interesting. In North America on September 24th, 1996. Players take on the role of Steve Mason, an 18-year-old man who awakens in a fictional Texas town of Harvest in 1953 with amnesia. Over the next week, he is coerced and manipulated into performing series of tasks with increasingly violent consequences on the behest of the Order of the Harvest Moon, a cult-like organization that seems to dominate the town and which promises to reveal the truth about Steve and how he found himself in Harvest. This game is well known for its violent content and its meta commentary. I said meta? I've never said meta before. Meta.
You also said behest.
I know. I know I said that wrong, but I was just trying to just get through it so nobody would notice. Yeah, behest. My favorite publisher is Behesta. It's meta commentary examination of violence and has garnered a cult following. There's also an enormous nugget of trivia involving this game that we will talk about later. With all that said, oh yeah, it's pretty wild. Let's get into those first impressions. Woo! All right, so I actually did a first impression video on this game in particular. I felt like it was probably the best, candidate for that. So if you want to see that, go check out the Super Garbage Day podcast / YouTube channel. It just says Super Garbage Day Podcast as the name, and you can see my first playthrough of this. At least not a first playthrough, but impression. If you don't care to do that, that's totally cool. I'll just sum it up. The game is very much a product of its time, for sure. Very like mid 90s FMV. Super bonkers. I personally loved how immediately the game drips it in like atmosphere, even if it's very grim and disturbing and kind of off-putting. But for the most part, I was kind of laughing my ass off my first 10 minutes of playing this game, and I knew immediately that was a good sign. What were your first impressions of this game, Mr. Miller?
Pretty much the same. Like booting it up, just enjoying. I love FMV. It just brings me back to like old Command and Conquer, and just that era where it was like that was the end all be all. Where they're just like, no, we're gonna hire real actors, and we're just gonna do these batshit videos. And then just the trouble you can get yourself into.
Yeah.
And yes. This is gonna be like bleeding through, but immediately when I saw that you can type whatever you want in like the dialogue prompts, I'm immediately just like, what can I say to get myself killed? Like, also, I do have to point out, I laughed hysterically when I saw the main character because this is the JD Vance game.
Yes, he looks so much like JD Vance. I'm not alone there. Yeah, he looks exactly like him.
The entire time I was just like, I'm like, how do I get JD Vance killed? Let's go.
It just seems like it's so funny. It's uncanny because it looks like him, but literally the younger version of him.
Yeah, it looks like him before we grew a beard.
Yes. So
like,
yeah.
And he's like from a small town. And I was just like, oh my God.
I thought it was actually him at first. I was like, was he in a game in the 90s? Like, but
yeah,
it's really funny. It's definitely, I had the exact same attention to detail there as you did. But after first impressions, you play the game. We both played it, and let's just talk about the gameplay.
Okay.
This is a point and click adventure game with some light combat mechanics. Maybe not light. You play as a character, Steve. He wakes up in the town of Harvest. He has no memory. It seems to be like 1953, whatever, that around that time period. I know it said it in the description, but you don't really know initially when you first play the game, and you find out later.
It's definitely it's literally the Make America Great era.
Yeah, it's super boomery times. Yeah.
It's that just after World War II, maybe post Korea War era. Like it's just picket fences and cars with big fins.
Yeah, so
diners, and
industrial era, right before Vietnam, for sure. It's totally that aesthetic. And but the thing is, though, your character wakes up, he doesn't know who he is, other than he's clearly JD Vance, and everything feels off immediately, like some kind of purgatorian dystopia parallel universe. And
yeah, because he has memories of like color TV and stuff like that.
Yeah, but he also doesn't know
Where-
anybody or even himself. You're finding this out through, dialogue.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, to like cue up that, something's wiggity. Because he does remember things, he just doesn't remember anything about this world.
Right. And you find that out immediately by, like, the first person you talk to is little Hank, which is apparently your little brother. And that's when you really discover, okay, this game is obviously at this point with the weird, the intro that is like 7,000 credits, which I thought was laughing because I found it to be comical. This had to be on purpose. There's no way that they just did this to be like, no, we're flexing, like put everybody's credit in here. It felt very satirical. But when you get into it, there's all the screaming and weird imagery. And then your guy wakes up and you talk to Hank, which is just, like I said, supposedly your little brother in the game. And he just starts spouting all this crazy stuff, kind of offloading this like early plot to you. And then you're like, all right, cool. Okay, I figured out who I am and who you are. You go into the kitchen, you talk to your mom, who apparently is your mom. And then so you start, things continue to get a little more unhinged. Ultimately, I'm kind of just going in the story, the early story. But realistically, the gameplay it's point and click, and it's a detective game ultimately. There's puzzles, there's you have to complete every day, and
it's very King's Quest.
It's King's Quest and a little bit of those like old school Sherlock Holmes like FMV games.
Yeah.
It has a lot of that, but this is like much more in depth and more interactive.
Mixed with what was that one that got panned? Like the babysitter murder one.
Oh man, are you talking about Night Trap?
Night Trap. That's Sega what it's CD, called. Yeah.
I'm surprised because this came out at the same time, and they weren't. At the time, I think Joseph Lieberman, I think his name was in like the Senate saying like we need to ban all video games because of Night Trap, and I'm like, bro, have you played Harvester? Like, you would.
Well, that's the thing is like PC gaming really slid under the radar for a long time because people who own PCs mostly use them for work. Like it was a real hobbyist kind of thing to be a PC gamer because a lot of these games were very unstable and hard to get to run.
That's a great point.
And even in I don't know if you read the manual, if your copy came with it, but the one I got on GOG has the original manual.
I didn't read it.
And it has all these like,
I should have.
It has all these like debugging options. And it's like, if this doesn't work, do this. And it's like code writing to get this game to work. And I even had to do a bunch of stuff to get mine to work through, selecting the right shaders and the right renderer and all that. Because there were a million options on my copy.
Interesting. I have the GOG copy, but like it played fine the entire time. I didn't realize it. And I see your point though. Like probably it was a very niche thing to have a PC and then play like an adult, non-pornographic PC game. So it was definitely under the radar. But man, if he wanted to win that case, he should have just brought this game to court.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, especially if you get into the later stages and like some of the,
yeah.
There is some shit in this game, guys.
Yes. Okay, well, it's a point and click game. It's I'll talk about this later in graphics and audio, but so they use motion capture and you're wandering around a pre-rendered background. You're selecting things. You have like a combat button that it was funny when you first use it because you just fucking straight uppercut,
Mm-hmm.
And you ultimately are just trying to figure out who you are, why you're there, and learning the town, learning the people, but also a lot of fetch questy stuff going on where you're like, okay, I figured out where the main part is, like the place I need to go, which is the lodge, obviously is the place that is like the Illuminati thing. And you can tell it's in-game area because when you first go there, you have to immediately you're greeted with this really stereotypical, funny, like acolyte type person who's, like, you can't join unless you fill out a resume or no application. And
yeah, it's an application, but we should also mention there is one other person in the game who, like you,
doesn't know why they're there.
Doesn't feel like they belong. Yeah. And for some reason Stephanie. You are bonded. Yeah, Stephanie, like, all of the NPCs are just like, can't wait for your wedding. And it's just like, who is this person? Why am I betrothed to them? What's going on?
Yeah, and she also shares the same. When you interact with her, you realize that you both are like, we don't know what we both have amnesia. I don't know who these people are. I don't know where I am. And yeah, she's so over sexualized at the same time. Where you're like, oh, every scene's got to be like in lingerie with you, but which I think is just the time.
Oh, I see. I was gonna say, I see you also found the people.
Man, I mean, there's a lot to talk about too, because like that's Mr. Potsdam or Damn.
Yeah. How spoilery are we gonna get with this?
I don't know, man, because the game is so weird, and like if we later on when we tell everybody like something else about the game, it's like, it's such a, I don't know. I think we should just talk about things because, yeah.
Well, I would say like one of the first like horrific things that happen is like your baby sister, supposed baby sister, just like eats a tarantula and then like
a wasp. Yeah, wasp on her face,
like fly out of her nose and face and everything.
It's out there,
and her eyes like swell up, and
your mom pushes her eyes back in, and blood squirts out.
Yeah.
So listen, guys, this game is fucking unhinged. Like probably the most unhinged game I've ever played. There's so much a harp on violence in this game that is campy and egregious and ridiculous, but it fits in this weird world. So you're going to see things like kids being beat with bats at a school for raising their heads during, a nuclear drill.
Yeah.
You're going to meet like a character named Colonel Buster Monroe, who has no legs, actually is like missing most of his half his body, who has the button to a nuke.
Literally half his torso, yeah.
And he obviously you live in a town that just has nukes, in the middle of it. It's a small town, which I think kind of would make sense in reality. And he's like, yeah, I can push this button and just end anything. He's super fucking PSTD, PTSD. But
it's so funny that whole communist discussion where it's like if you accidentally like hint that you might be anything but a true red-blooded American,
he shoots you.
That he just
you in the face.
goes off the rails and blows you away, and then sets off all the nukes and just blows up the whole world.
Game over. Yeah, which I think is probably the speed run. I have to look it up. I'm sure that's there's got to be any percentage getting nuked, right? But yeah, I mean these characters are ridiculous, and there's so many of them. I mean, you have like Stephanie, like we said, and the Colonel, but then you have like the Range Rider, who's this cowboy TV star guy that has this show that obviously Hank, your little brother's watching when you first talk to him. And he's just,
this is the good part.
Yeah. He's just violent as shit. And like, it's like racist and he's killing people. Like it seems like live on set.
He's literally got a line of Native American people looking for jobs,
and he just kills them.
And it's because they literally kill them on set.
Yeah, he's like steps in their stomach.
Like, all right. Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck?
I mean, there's a lot of what the fucks that happened in this game, but I mean,
there's a lot of like cannibalism references. Like the entire time, I was like, for sure, I was just like, oh, okay,
sexual abuse innuendos.
Yeah.
There's like murder suicide that involve children. That's
anything.
It's crazy.
Anything that could be offensive is in this game.
Yes. And what's crazy though is at a time when it was the most offensive, right? Like,
yeah, right. No, it's like they were looking to get video games banned.
Yeah, I'm wondering, if this was a part of the marketing to like get them out there. They made the most out of control
Like,
game they possibly could.
This is the game your parents warned you about.
No, but for reals though, it deserves that title. Like this would be traumatizing for a child to play. Like this is one of the few games I think that exists where the ESBR rating was correct here. Like no kid under 18 should play this game at that time in the 1996. No way.
Shit, I'm just like, no, 25 or older. Your frontal lobe needs to be developed.
it's out there, bro. There's so much. I mean, just the grotesque murders and how they all have their own little FMV scenes too, even though they're really tongue in cheek, but they're really like still hyper violent.
They're hyper graphic,
yeah. And the characters all have something off about them. Like I said, Stephanie's dad. He clearly is like an abuser. Like he abuses her in this world. And he has a little peephole where he watches her change and stuff. And like, it's her father. He's obsessed with meat, and it's just a gross, awful character. Then you have like Edna and her daughter, Karen, which is the literal 5-year-old girl, which in this game, when you're following, you're playing the game, you're collecting the items, you collect a porno mag. And if you go, there's a lot of times in this game, just like I think like King's Quest, where you could fuck up, and it like ends the game. Well,
yeah,
you can give the porno mag to the kid, and then you immediately get like locked up. But the build up to it is funny. Fucked up. Like, yeah, it's.
Well, even the correct option for the porno mag is you give it to the deputy,
and he jacks off. He just
immediately goes and jacks off in the fucking holding cell.
He gets beat like a dog with a newspaper.
Then he gets, it is like bad boy. You made a mess on the linens again. I was like, oh my god!
And that's one of the least like controversial scenes. It's like the deputy jacking off to porn, and then like his superior coming in and beating him. So, I mean, bro, we're not even talking about like the wasp woman. Like there's so many characters. I don't even understand her in the game. Actually, so this lady.
Oh, did you not kill her?
I did, and then I found out that her big wasp
she's
body.
She's an actual wasp woman.
Yeah, she literally is a wasp. Oh
no, there are so many red herrings in this game.
It's crazy.
Where it's just weird shit to be weird shit. Like there's a whole quest line involving the coroner /
mortuary hotel
/ hotel
manager. Yeah,
that leads nowhere. It just gets you arrested if you pursue it.
But also the wasp lady is also kind of the same thing, because it's not like it's like further lore, but it doesn't affect any bit of the gameplay if you want to beat the game. Yeah, no,
and then no. Once you get into the lodge, don't even get me started. There's so many quests.
What a fucking crescendo, of this game when you get to the lodge. But before that, you're really just meeting a lot of unkiltered weird characters. I mean, the stereotypes are everywhere. You have fucking
the midget,
the gay firemen that are like.
The gay firemen,
and they call it the House of Flame, their fire department. Like, it's just so off the rails, dude.
You got the crazy farmer who believes in aliens. You got...
He's not a crazy farmer. He's like a hillbilly. Yeah.
And then you got the corrupt cop. You got the principal and the teacher boning each other. You got...
And beating kids with bats.
Yeah. The meat packing plant, which is obviously serving man.
Well, cats at first, and then men. Yeah, and then secret society, like Illuminati people. It hits
pedophiles galore.
Everywhere. This game is soaked in like the white underbelly of America, really, right? And this isn't a game where I look at it and play it and be like, oh, they're genius. I see the message. No. You can tell they were like, let's just do the most offensive shit we possibly can. Let's throw every fucking spaghetti noodle at the wall. Make sure it all sticks.
They really did. They were just like, even if it doesn't stick, put it back on there. Get a stapler and punch it in there until it bleeds.
It's out of control. Like, especially, there's so much, the problem, a big problem with this game, though, such a hyper focus on like children's abuse and death, where I'm like, okay, I get it, man. I get the edgy what you're trying to do here, but like, fuck, it's so much. I even like, there's a scene where the diner, what's her name?
What, when Edna's kid gets abducted?
Edna. Yeah, Edna and Karen. Yeah. And then you find out that you have to dig up a grave and then you rescue her.
And it's Mr. Potsdam?
Yes, because he's a creepy pedophile. Yeah. And yeah, and then they still end up killing themselves. Like, well, it's a murder-suicide. Yeah.
It's all to get into this goddamn lodge.
Yeah, and the whole point is, or the whole plot is that you have to be a part of this Illuminati secret society in order to be told or figure out what's going on. And so, you do every day in it, you have to complete these different tasks. Like, for instance, like the getting the fire can and like framing or whatever, figuring out who the arson is, which actually is interesting to me because the first day seems like it was like a lot more intricate than the following days to get into the lodge, where I'm like, well, they put a lot of effort in the first part. And then they were like, fuck it, let's just make it easier until you get to like, the end game part.
Well, it has varying difficulties. I think that's why there's so many red herring quests, is it's just like ways to trick you up and other ways to just like put in more brutal kills.
And they love that. That was their bread and butter for the game, was those fucking brutal FMV kills.
Because like the first day is very much just like, go meet the town. And you basically just do a circuit and talk to every single person in the town, which I did count. And if you notice in the intro video, there are 50, it says population of 51.
Yes.
If you don't count the people in the lodge, there are 51 characters in the actual town. That's including all of the children in the school.
Even all. Okay.
Which I found that to be an interesting detail. Like, once you meet everybody by, I think it's like day 5, you'll have met every single character in the town.
Well, it's not that big of a town though, too. And we have to also bring up the, like, I'm a big fan of the way that they did like the map.
Yeah.
Because, you just exit, point and click exit, and then you just kind of scroll around the map. And it's really explorative, even though sometimes it's very obtuse.
I do have some issues with that map though, because they do have some portions where like a building is only clickable from the right side of the map, but it'll show up on the left side of the map. So like if you're scrolled wrong, but that's a nitpicky.
Well, it's actually not too nitpicky, because one of the bigger problems I have with the game is that it does have like a major lack of direction. And there's a lot of, like we said earlier, a lot of useless locations and interactions. And so it kind of beckons you be obsessively clicking and doing every possible thing you can to figure out what the next step is. And I think that actually that affects it as well.
That's part of the genre though.
Yeah, but I mean, it could.
What I didn't like is they even say it in the tutorial. Like if you read, like right when you wake up in your idyllic little 50s bedroom, if you go through all the tips, they even say it's just like, you can combine items and use them in weird and wacky ways. It's like,
no, you can't. You can't combine items at all. But it's
the whole time I'm just like, all right, well, if I put this together, then maybe I can make a thing to pop open this lock. And it's just like, nah, you just don't have the right item.
And that's a big part. We didn't even talk about the items, because you collect a lot of items. You get them from the store or like inventory or in the police station. A lot of weapons. The game has a lot of weapons. And
I think there's 13 in
and
total.
It gives you full bore, and they come with their own like FMV kills. So like if you decide to just use the weapon on somebody, you get to see the death scene, and it ranges everywhere from like a chainsaw to obviously like a fire axe to guns. There's shotguns.
Did you get the scythe?
Yes, I got a scythe.
Best weapon.
I know, it just fucking one shots everything, especially when you get to the lodge. So,
that's also a thing too, though, is like when it comes to the combat, you can literally just run around and just kill everybody.
Yeah, that's why I said it had light
You'll
combat.
Eventually get,
it's more of a point and click, but the combat's not good.
It gets hard at the end.
Yeah, but you also can use something else. Like there's for instance, there's a certain person you have to fight in the lodge at a certain level, and you can sit there and blast all you want all day, or you can use a certain item that triggers like an FMV thing, and it makes the fight way easier. But
I know who you're talking about, and I didn't do that. I
don't know why I'm being so secretive, but yeah, it's Mr. Potsdam. Yeah, like
Mr. Potsdam. I was thinking of Kane.
Oh wait, I think you're right. Shit, never mind. Yeah, but you use the hooks instead of like just shitting there blasting, and it does this FMV of you like pulling his eyeballs out, which you can just tell they had a blast making those.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's not Kane. Yeah, now I think about it.
Kane, there's an item that it's like that'll play music and it'll like stun him.
It soothes him.
Yeah, and then you could just murder him.
That's kind of the case though when you get to the lodge, because the lodge, it's building you up. Like the whole game is pretty much two parts. It's the whole town, the days, and then the lodge. The lodge is like the weird, Illuminati, eyes wide shut, societal thing. But once you get in there, you're actually because the whole point, the first half of the game, you're just trying to do all these fetch quests to just gain access to that. Then when you get in there, it's fucking batshit crazy. Like you're in a kitchen, you're fighting a clown, you're fighting fucking a pedophile. It goes way too long, in my opinion. Like there's just having to kill over and over and over, and I'm like,
it does.
Well, it kind of fucked up the immersion a little bit because there's not that obviously you're not going to immerse in this game, but
even before that, it's like when you're first going through like the first couple of days, you're just like, okay, it's like people and it's a weird cult thing. We're figuring this out, and then all of a sudden you go into the sewers and they're just like, that's a demon.
Well, yeah, it's the only time you experience monsters in the sewer and then in like just the lodge.
And like the crypt
Sorry, yeah,
is the first like real like humanoid kind of like monster. But it's just like, okay, where are we going? And then by the time you're at like the third level of the lodge, you're just like, bring it.
Yeah,
like there's nothing you could do that would surprise me anymore.
Yeah, and the lodge,
and then they surprise
you again. Yeah, so in gameplay, we'll cut to the chase on the ending of the game. So if you want to play this game, so far you're locked in. Skip ahead, I guess 5 minutes. I don't know, but so you come to a crossroads when you get to the you meet the final person, and you realize that you have been in a VR simulation the entire time, and it's built for serial killers to make serial killers, and also Stephanie, your wife to be in the game, also is hooked up to it. And that's why she doesn't have her memories. And you have to figure out if you want to kill her. By the way, we didn't even talk about like getting into the lodge and the fucking skull and spine, which it has one of the funniest moments in the game where the sheriff, you're like, you come to investigate, or you see.
Oh, and he's just eating cake. No,
it's what he says, because you find the skull and the spine covered in blood on Stephanie's bed. And then he's like, well, she died of natural causes. And you're like, really? He's like, well, you can't live naturally without a spine.
No, but I just love that, like, he's just sitting there just munching on like this cherry cake, and he's just like got it all over his face, and I'm just like,
yeah. Well, it's funny because it's such a stereotypical like fat, corrupt, small town sheriff.
It's like, you know what? I will have another piece of pie, or whatever he said.
And what's funny too is that like next to the spine and the skull is like this little card that has like the logo for the lodge. So you bring that to the dude, the acolyte, to get into it, and he's like, this actually isn't the invitation. And then you find out later, you have to go back. It's the skull and the spine. That's how you get into it. But
which I don't know if you realize that's actually not that. I mean, obviously it's not Stephanie's.
I know. Yeah.
At the end of the game, she's still alive.
Yeah.
But that's Karen's.
Yeah. That's
skull and spine.
That's the kid.
That's Edna's daughter. And I'm like,
who earlier you saw hung. She was dead and hung by her own mother. So that's
well, and that was actually meant to be the invitation for Mr. Potsdam, not you.
yes. The game has no fucking chill, dude. Yeah, and then you get to choose. You have to kill Stephanie, and then go into the real world now as a serial killer, because the whole point of it was to make you a serial killer.
Dude, that having to kill Stephanie is awful. It takes so fucking long. You have to hit her so many times. Like, you don't get to choose your good weapons either. It's like, I'm just going to chainsaw her because it's like instant death.
I know. The chainsaw's OP though.
No, they give you a baseball bat, and you just have to bludgeon her like
over and over
13
and over,
times. Yeah. And the entire time she's just screaming. I'm just like, this is terrible.
That's where
I don't want to do
that
this
was a
anymore.
line at the very end of the game.
Well, it's just like the rest of them, like everybody's awful.
Yes,
in this game.
even yourself. So,
but then it's just like, okay, now this is getting egregious. Like, do I really have to just click? Because you can't do it fast.
No,
you have to like slowly,
and that's by design.
Like, okay.
They do that purposely. Yeah,
it's just like, wow. So if you choose to not kill her, then like you both die anyways. They just unplug you from your simulation, and then they simulate like 30 years of life in the 6 seconds it takes for brain death or whatever. And then you like have a kid and everything, and then you just die of old age. So either way, you lose. Bad guys win.
Yes. Well, there's no good guys.
It's just like, wow, bummer of a game.
Bummer of a game. Also fucking insane, like roller coaster ride the entire time. Like just absolutely off the fucking rails. All right. Well, let's talk about the graphics and audio. So I appreciate the aesthetics completely of this game. They uses real actors who are motion captured, just like Mortal Kombat 1. Imagine that. And they are set to pre-rendered backgrounds, and they have different voice actors portraying the characters. It's actually so well done. Like, I was impressed by everything they did for the production level of this. Then I realized they actually like seeked out actors.
Yeah.
And did, you can tell they put a lot of effort into that. I love the style. And I think like the sound, everything about it, even it being kind of antiquated and old, it's a very approachable game now because the whole retro thing is so now in vogue and cool that like its visuals and its audio is very approachable even at this day. Subject matter is a fucking different story, but I dug it. I thought it was great. What do you think?
I as somebody in the industry, and this particular aspect being my current job, I just cringed at how much blue and green screen I could see around the characters. It just made me laugh where I'm like, oh, that was passable back in the day. I would get fired for submitting this.
Oh yeah. Well, fuck, 95, right? 96. Oh yeah. But you got to think like people playing this on a video, on a computer in that time period, pre-internet, really, like that had to have been remarkable.
It just made me laugh. I'm like, wow, this is awful. And I was like, I have to remember that this game came out before there were standards.
Also, it's a fucking batshit game. So, it's not trying to win any awards to begin with, but I feel like they did pump a lot. I mean, the pre-render backgrounds are phenomenal. And the fact that like
the pre-renders are very good. And there are some like more surreal areas that are actually like really interesting to look at. If you can stomach all the gross ass sounds, which the sound design in this is very good.
Yeah, it is. It is so disgusting. And kind of all over the place. You have everything from like a stabbing and like guts falling out to like a silly Looney Tunes-esque bonk of a bat and like the spinning, like it's all there. It was all given attention to detail. And I think it's because they wanted to make something so fucking crazy that's where they were like, no, this has to be good no matter what. Even if people hate this part has to be good. The gore, the visual gore, and the sound design, you can tell they put the most amount of effort into because they wanted it to be fucked up as possible.
Yeah, I really appreciated the music because it really fit the environments that they would put it in.
Absolutely.
I'm actually thinking about stealing the soundtrack to use for like D&D playlists because it's got some great like just spooky dungeon sounds and
like droning,
nice, good like
droning atmospheric. Yeah.
And then there's just areas where I'm like, oh, come on. Like your dad's bedroom.
Oh God. Oh dude. We didn't even talk about that. Where you find out like your father is just like tied up and it's like a dominatrix thing with your mom. And then she gets weird about that. Like, ugh.
Dude. Okay. I don't know if you tried it, but I was just trying to piss off my mom to see if she would stab me with a knife. Because they pull that red herring where like if you click over the knives, it's just like knives hanging ominously. And I'm like, she's got to just like get pissed off and gut you. So I ran through all the curse words, and when I just said fuck to her, she's like, you wanna?
I know
your dad's out of commission. I'm like,
incestual.
No way.
Yeah, it goes there, dude. Yeah, with her and then like Mr. Potsdam. Like, yeah, it's very fucking she's. And then you see like that was I don't know if that was before or after you saw the dad bedroom scene, but it makes sense in this fucked up world, in this reality of Harvester. But also you just always being surprised at how fucking far they go. And that was a big one too.
Yeah.
It's wild. But I think it's a great design game from a visual and audio standpoint. And it works. The janky graphics work for their time period. This had to look amazing in 1996.
Yeah. My only criticism with the FMVs is a lot of them repeat.
Yeah. But that's a point and click.
They'll do the same. But they'll do them for different like responses where it'll just be the exact ssame thing you just watched with like a completely different dialogue line. And I was just like, really? You spent all this time. You should have gone all the way. But again, nitpicking.
They want to show you the gore. So, all right. Well, obviously the gameplay section was a lot longer than the graphics and audio section of this episode. But, what is there to say? It's a point and click full motion video / motion captured / pre-rendered background game.
If we have anything to talk about, it was the game
for sure, and the story. So let's get to our verdict. What do you and I think about Harvester on the PC? All right, Mr. Miller, I will let you go first. What do you think of Harvester?
All right. I did really enjoy this game up until the third level of the lodge. The end of the game gets so bogged down with ridiculous combat that it really just it really knocked it down. Especially because there's no reason for it at that point. It's just like they basically were just gatekeeping their ending. But with all the over the top, like I was laughing most of the way through. There were a lot of points that made me just be like, ew, this is icky. But we've played games of this caliber before. Maybe not as batshit crazy, but Outlast dicks out crazy people is in that realm. I would give this a higher rating if it wasn't so gratuitous. I can't fully recommend it just because it is purely going for the gross out just to gross out. aspect, and it at the end of the day, it didn't really feel like they really had something to say. They were just trying to be offensive. So I would have given this a solid B, but I'm gonna give it a C minus, maybe a C. But I can't like fully approve this game. While it is fun and it has some good moments, it was just, it was tasteless at times.
What would you give that from a scale of 1 to 100 then? Like a 65?
A 67. No, we're going to give it a solid 69.
69. There we go. All right. Fair assumption, or astute. I also I'm going to echo a lot of what you said. This is a tough one, actually. Since starting this show, I found out that I actually like point and click adventure games. This game being, in my opinion, one of the most fucked up entries of the genre. It is actually extremely well made, in my opinion, and keeps you engaged no matter how out of control and absurd the game gets. However, it is not a game I can recommend to everyone. Its subject matter is like top of the tier list you would see in like YouTube about like most disturbing games. This is by far the most violent and unhinged game I've ever played. And just to let you guys know, the main character who played Steve was arrested for child pornography in 2012. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his actual middle name is Steven, which is funny. And he's wearing the same outfit in the mugshot.
That's the most insane thing. It was like, that guy just dresses
like what
that.
The
he
fuck?
showed up to the casting. He showed up to the casting call, and they were like, "Cool, we'll get you a bunch of outfits like that, you know, for the rest of the because that's perfect. That fits the aesthetic." He's like, "No, don't worry, I already got it covered."
And also, you know what's funny is weird looking at it. It's such a weird serendipitous thing, because the thing is, anytime you try to argue with any character in the game about like your amnesia, they say, "Oh, Steven, you're always a kidder." And now to find out that the person who played him was a diddler.
It really makes me question the writer too.
Yes, everything actually. I even dove a little deep into like the fan base, and they're all kind of different. And I felt just as uncomfortable as I did watching their videos as I did playing the game. But outside of that, I can't give this game a good rating based on principle alone. But play it if you want, but just know it's really messed up and in the game and outside of the game. 50 out of 100 gets an F.
Okay.
But
you're just giving it an F?
I'm just giving it an F. I mean, it's, you know.
See, I gave it points on technical merit alone.
I understand.
Because it's like, you did the assignment. I really don't.
They did a good job too.
They should ever be seen.
The game is well made, in my opinion. And I think it's worth somebody playing who is okay to stomach this level of like gratuitous violence and abuse and the subject matter and the themes. But, you know, it's just the whole aura of the game is off. And it's weird. It's like, I can't put my finger on it, but
yeah, it's one of those when I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, somebody's going to look at my profile and see that I played this game, and I'm just going to be like, no, I had to do it for research.
Yeah. To be fair, if like, I didn't realize that, you know, there was so much controversy outside of the game, I probably would have gave it like a B minus. So, but you know, it is what it is. I think C minus actually is probably more astute, but you know, it is what it is. All right. It's time to say one good thing and one bad thing about Harvester. Mr. Miller, say one good thing.
It's got a ripping metal track if you go into the lodge's den area and change the radio. Yeah,
actually, the soundtrack's phenomenal. And like you said earlier, like there's even the atmospheric soundtrack totally works. All right, say one bad thing.
The rest of it.
Perfect. I think the good is it's really unlike anything I've played, and it just goes hard. It's as hard as it possibly can. which shows some form of like heart and
They committed to the bit.
yeah, they really did. Bad, way too much abuse and death surrounding children. For my stomach. All right. There you go, everybody. Harvester gets a combined score of still F. Or I guess D minus.
Yeah, 119.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, that's I think it's a D minus. It's like the cusp, the fringe of D minus.
The fringe, yeah, where they're just like, is he good at football? We'll let him pass.
Yes, for sure. All right. It's time to spin the wheel and see what we play next week. Are you ready for this?
I am ready.
All right. It's time to...
Like Betty Spaghetti.
Like Betty Spaghetti. All right. Mr. Miller, give me the cue.
Spin that wheel!
Oh, okay. This is a pleasant surprise. All right, Mr. Miller, are you ready to be depressed?
Oh, I thought we were getting some eye bleach.
You know what? This game is, I can already just say it's going to be better. This is a game we probably both have already played, but now we get to do an episode over. And it involves you being an ex-cop with a dead family.
Are we playing Silent Hill 2?
I didn't realize there's so many. I thought it was going to be pinpointed. No, sir. We are playing Max Payne. The first one.
Oh, the OG?
The OG Max Payne.
Oh, man. I'm so ready to get my bullet time on. I'm ready. But also just play it on whatever, however you want to. So I'll probably play it on the PC. Can I play the remaster? I don't care. Go ahead. I didn't know there was a Max Payne 1 remaster. When did that happen? I'm pretty sure there was a PC remaster in recent era. I might be wrong.
No, I hope that exists. I didn't know. Listen, man, I have not been keeping up on Max Payne. So hopefully that's the case. I want to thank the patrons. Thank you so much for your donations. Remember, it all goes to the Green Hill Humane Society, which supports local animals here in Eugene, Oregon. So thank you. Join the Discord. It's free. Small community of like-minded people like Nogs56. And you can add your own retro question of the week and join us in community discussions. All right. Mr. Miller, any parting words?
Don't be like any of the characters in Harvester, and you will have lived a better life than most.
Yes. Harvester it's definitely a game of all time. It's not sure what accolade it should receive. And as usual, never judge a book by its grammar. Have a super garbage day and cut to B. Bye.
Thank you for watching with my dad. I just want to say everybody, guys, bye.